The following podcast has us talking about our book recommendations, Homunculus, the letter P when it comes to tabletop gaming, and an interview with Talon.
Now recording.
The following podcast may have adult humor,
swear words,
innuendos of a adult nature.
making fun of me.
That's a given. Everybody looks forward to that. But just know that you have been warned. Hey, Jesse, we're back with another one. Yeah,
We are.
like
I'm
always.
here for another week in a row. 2 weeks in a row for me.
Seems like we start the podcast off like that all the time.
I don't think
Me
you've ever
neither.
said we're back with another one, but I don't know.
It just seems like. I mean, how
It
many
is a-
ways?
It is a rainy 47 degrees here in April.
Ugh.
Picture this. And it was 83 on the weekend, Saturday.
Dang, son. Y'all can have it. Y'all can have it. As far as news, be sure to check the Knights of the Braille website, the blog, which is Knights
Which
of
I
the Braille. Did you?
Yeah, I keep saying that because you never thought I would, and I did.
I know. Did you check it out at knightsofthebraille.com/blog?
I just did knightsofthebraille.com because I didn't feel like typing anything else. I'm lazy.
Well, either way, we'll get you there.
But you can click on blog in the menu. Like, it's very simple.
Yes. I still
And
haven't.
it's Knights of the Braille. Braille.
If you say so. I have yet to get back out there and post. It's trying to catch up on everything, but hopefully we're back to normal now. Well, as normal as I can be anyway. So that is a good thing.
Yep.
Gotta get back to my monster creation.
Do you have like any ideas, or haven't you even thought of it because of everything going on?
I actually do have some ideas from a movie
okay.
that you and I both watched.
Ah.
So,
Unseen Critics. Is it Unseen or
Exactly.
Unseeing Critics? I always forget.
Unseen.
Okay.
Like UNSEEING.
Okay.
Critics.
Okay.
Shameless plug there, right?
Yep.
Of course it is. But that's a podcast where Jesse and I just, criticize movies, TV shows, music.
We haven't really criticized anything yet.
Yeah, not yet, but I mean, it's getting there. You know, we talked about some stuff, but not like in depth or anything.
Right.
But be sure to check it out. Put the link in the show notes as always. And Jesse, let's hop into our. Let me mention the Knights of the Braille Discord. There are people looking for games out there, and we also advertise games out there. So be sure to join the Discord.
Yep. Discord. I've had a couple people ask me. The Discord is the best place to look for games that are advertising.
Exactly. Because I can't remember all of them, nor do I check about all of them, because, I mean, there's only so much time in a day.
And he's
but
taking time, like, rubbing his chest and stuff like that.
yes. Well, I could say that, but, never mind. Anyway, tell us about your book recommendation.
All right. Well, today I'm recommending a novella, which is a fancy word for a short novel. And it is called Tomkin, Tomkin, and the Dragon. It is written by J.A. Andrews. And see, Tomkin is a young man whose brother is this. He's the youngest son. Tomkin is the youngest son of the king, I think it is. I think it's a king. And his brother is very famous. His brother's a warrior. His brother's a hero. And Tomkin's just bookish. Tomkin is, not the biggest man. Kind of like the third wheel kind of sons. And they went off to fight a war, his dad did and his brother, and they left him to run the kingdom and deal with the books and stuff like that. Well, a dragon, he decides to, he's going on a walk or something, and he comes across this dragon, and he ends up kidnapped by this dragon and put in the dragon's castle. And there he meets Mags. And Mags is this girl who's running away from home and running away from an arranged marriage. Tompkin found out that he's involved in an arranged marriage. He's not very happy about it. And it's about them, their friendship, and how they're going to get out of this tower. Like, Max doesn't want to leave the tower because she thinks the dragon's nice and her friend, and they can live in the castle together. Tompkin does not trust this dragon as far as he can throw him, and he's a dragon, so you can't throw him at all. And it is such a heartwarming, feel-good fantasy story that I feel like you never get anymore. Kind of like, did you ever read Howl's Moving Castle?
Yes.
It's kind of like that, where like there's something to solve, but it is so like heartwarming, and you just feel like it's almost like a fairy tale. I love this book. She has a whole series. Like, the series is called The Keepers, and the Keepers are like magical storytellers in the kingdom. And Tompkin and the Dragon is one of their favorite stories to tell. So the book opens with one of these keepers at this tavern telling a story to a little girl. And I want to read the whole series now. And I got the book for free. You can find it on Facebook. There's a, what's it called? The Action Fantasy Book Club. And it's indie authors, and each month they give you a free book to read and you can discuss. Well, Tompkin and the Dragon was the book for either this month or last month. Actually, the first book I've read, because the other ones didn't appeal to me. But phenomenal book, 5 stars, and just amazing. It's on Audible too. Like, it's not just on Kindle, it's on Audible. I forget who reads it. It's a famous reader though, and just phenomenal, feel good. I'm not going to say it's Harry Potter-esque, but like reading it, I was like wrapped up like I was with Harry Potter, if you know what I mean.
You haven't finished. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting my credits tomorrow. I'm getting the last book, 2 books.
You knew I was
If
going to
I
say
don't
it,
get I know. If I don't get the J.A. Andrews series, because it's on one credit for the whole trilogy. So I don't know.
Well, do that and get one of the Harry Potters, or
That was my plan.
perhaps one of the Newtown books. That anyway.
I think I'm better off reading Harry Potter since I'm almost done with it. So
yeah, then you'll just keep getting mad whenever Stephen and myself do Newtown.
Right. But so, I love this book. I'm kind of curious if you ever read it, what you'd think of it. It was like 99 cents if you bought it, but I had free. So
I gotcha. Well,
awesome
mine
book.
is a book that I have not finished yet, but I'm only like an hour or so away from finishing it, and really just fell into it. I enjoy a lot of books that bring in some history in a novel that's like in history. And this book, Lemuria, which is Lemuria by Grieg Beck, which is Greig Beck. I got it on the Audible Daily Deal for like $1.99. Yeah, I would have been happy having spent a credit on this book.
Wow. So I'm assuming Lemuria is about Atlantis?
In a way,
because Lemuria is the name for the lost continent.
Yes, it is. But this one is not Atlantis like you think, like under the water Atlantis.
Okay.
This is an ice-domed island that you can only get to by going through Odin's Gate, where Vikings would go to test their metal or their
I'm intrigued
prowess. By trying to get to Odin's Heart, which is a rather large, I think it said human-sized head, the head of a human-sized ruby that glows red. And this island you can only get to every so often. And there's all kinds of prehistoric creatures there, like dinosaurs, vegetation, things like that. It's like a self-contained ecosystem. Really, really good book.
I think there was a movie like in the 60s or something called, or 50s, The Island of Time Forgot, kind of like that. It sounds like.
Yeah. But this, the Vikings would go there. They go into a museum and see like part of a Viking ship that's been rebuilt, and actual eye in there. They make a
Yeah.
point of speaking about the dragon head having only one emerald eye or jade eye, and one of the main characters, the girl in there, she's like, not Norway, isn't? She's Norse
Norwegian?
anyway.
Norse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she has, the blonde hair, but she only has one green eye. The other one she was born without, whenever she was born as a baby. And one of the other characters, like in one of the flashbacks, is a Viking woman. Hey, shocker here, her name is Broomhilda.
Wow.
Very, very,
Very famous.
yeah,
Viking name.
original. You know, but
I feel like she
only
could be a
has one
relative
green eye.
of Ivana.
She could be, but she's probably not as poish as Ivana is. But it
That
is
sounds very
really
interesting.
good.
So is it set in modern times though?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And the flashbacks go back to there's some from the Civil War, there's some from the Viking era.
That sounds
and
very
things like that.
interesting.
It's a definite must read. I don't give many 5 stars, as you all know. This one would definitely be a 5-star though.
I've noticed, excuse me, speaking of 5 stars, as I'm reading more, like I really got heavy into reading, the last few years, I'm starting to give less and less 5 stars. Like I used to throw them around willy-nilly, like, oh, I like that book, but I'm judgier now. So if I give a book, I give a lot of 4s anymore, or 3s.
Right.
And to me, 3 isn't bad. Like some people say 3 is bad. 3 is just average for me.
Yeah. And
But
that's
like
it.
Pumpkin
It's
and the
just,
Dragon that was amazing. It's 5 easily.
I mean,
But it does it ever bother you when you think like, oh, I'm going to love this book and the book ends up being just okay? Like I've had that happen a lot lately, and I just hate that.
it does irk me a little bit, I guess you could say. But I mean, not all books are the same, and
Right.
even not all books by the same author are the
I was
same.
going to say I hate when a book by one of my favorite authors is a letdown because you're like, oh, there's a new book by so and so, and then you're like, oh.
And see that goes for like Anne Rice with me. I love Anne Rice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Vampire Chronicles.
Did you ever read her Jesus books?
No, I haven't
Okay.
read those, and I cannot stand the Mayfair Witches. I
saw that's just a TV series now that came out. I don't know anything about it. I didn't watch it, but I saw they made it.
Might have to check it out though. But I couldn't stand the Mayfair Witches that she did.
This isn't the podcast part, I know, but what about it didn't you like?
I don't know. I just
Oh,
tried reading it and read it for like an hour and a half and just could not get into it. Maybe because I like the Vampire Chronicles so much more.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, let's get into this terminology.
all right.
We're at the letter P, and not pee egg, Stephen. I know how you want some of those. But anyway.
You want it with a side of crab on it.
Yes. P is for padding. Do you know what padding is?
I'm going to guess it's like added details or added scenes that are put into like flesh out a story or flesh out an area, like kind of like time wasters.
That is very much the correct answer. And
Okay.
also padding as in, and I've done this, with y'all that are fighting a creature that, y'all are just tearing it up, but to make it more fun for you all, I'll add some more hit points to it. So the battle...
I started to do that because you guys were killing all my damn bosses. So.
Right.
Especially
and
one player, we won't name any names, though.
Yeah, and we're not in padding that way. You're not trying to cheat or discourage the players.
Just
but
make
you're
the
trying to
enjoyment
give
go on
them
longer.
Yeah, you're trying to give them a good time and to give them a fight. So it's good and it's bad because at the same time with the old padding thing, it can waste a lot of time when you come to like reading a book or reading a setting in a pre-written campaign that's like, I don't need to know all that. I just need to know
Right.
the nitty-gritty.
It's like I can cut this out, I can cut this out, I can cut that out. Don't need that.
Exactly.
I've dumbed it down, so-called dumbed it down for things because I'm like, that's just too much meaningless shit.
It is. And there's just no point.
And some people are
behind
like
it.
that, but my style was more like to the point, I think.
Yeah. And I take that back. There's no point in it, but there is. I mean, sometimes when, like, say, for instance, you didn't get to finish, leveling up your character, well, the DM can either pause the game, which halts momentum, or they can, like, continue padding the environment around you to give you time. I mean, you learn how to do, like, tips and,
Can I actually
like
tell the listeners that I actually leveled up before our session last week?
You
I was
can.
proud of myself.
Because we're all surprised, and then he says he can't go tomorrow night.
I know, I feel guilty about it.
I don't. Family comes first, man, always. But, going to give you a description here and see if you can tell me what it is.
Okay.
I will start off by saying, I know you've looked around and you've seen all the glass jars and vials and bubbling concoctions.
Yeah, I wonder what you were doing with all that. I didn't know if you were making PP eggs for Steven or what.
Well, we're in my alchemy lab that nobody knows the location of except, well, you were blindfolded when I brought you in here.
Yeah, you blindfolded me even though I'm blind. That was kind of ridiculous.
Well, I put the gloves on your hands so you couldn't feel around. I know how to do it. Don't judge me, sir. But there's this thing made that will do what?
I was going to say, we've gone through so many gloves in this house after my surgery.
Oh, yeah. There's this creature made of ash, blood, clay, and mandrake root.
Some sort of golem.
Close. With the correct ritual, it gets you a small, squirrel-sized companion. You've heard of them, but I'm sure you cannot quite come up with the name of it yet, can you?
Some sort of familiar?
I would say yes. My interpretation is yes.
I've heard of them in D&D, you mean?
Yeah, and in other fantasy books.
Oh, I'll give me a second. Okay, you can tell me.
Oh, sorry. I was doing the theme. The Homunkulus.
I have heard of that. I always thought that was another name for Gollum. I didn't know there was a difference.
Could be, but this one is really small. So I'm guessing that's why they are.
I kind of want a companion now.
Yeah.
But knowing you would. Well, I guess I have one, the baby.
Yeah. See, I gave you that. And you keep forgetting about the poor baby.
No, I didn't forget about it. He's with that lady.
Yeah, that lady you can't remember the name of.
She was a she, I think.
Yeah.
Ivana's sister, Svetlana or whatever.
But the homunculus and the person who created, the homunculus share a telepathic bond, and they can be used for spies or carrying little messages or anything like that.
I think our party needs to interact with one of those.
It could be interesting. It could be very interesting, but they have an AC of like 13, and
I figured they weren't tough.
Yeah, hit points is only 5. They can do some damage. They get a +4 to bite, and they only cause 1 piercing damage. But here's something that I thought was really cool feature of the homunculus is that whoever they bite must make a Constitution saving throw of 10 or greater, or they're poisoned.
I like that.
Yeah, and if they miss the DC by 5 or more, they are unconscious.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, that could really take you down. I mean,
yes, it could. I like how they're like not mighty, but they can be. Like if everything lines up right.
I mean, just look at this for a second, Jesse. Say you're a level 15 something, whatever, and
Yep.
you have a plus. You can even have a +8 to your Constitution saving throw.
Uh-huh.
But if you get a nat 1 when the homunculus bites you,
Yep.
you're poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's like that whole thing that's your Achilles heel if you get a nat 1. Like,
yeah. I mean, and you know how I am with like nat 1s, whether I get
you don't
them
mess
or
around,
yeah. I mean, whether I get them
which is
and
good. Yeah.
you've seen it. I've done it to myself too. Or I
Oh,
mean,
I know.
because
Yeah.
something needs to happen. I mean,
Right.
that's just the way that I see it. And the way
Right.
that I enjoy playing. But seeing as that we're in this,
I meant to ask you real quick, though.
yeah.
My library chair, did someone sit in it because there's a weird, funky smell in it?
Well, that could be because of our guest Talon that showed up. Because he.
Talon is not stinky, sir.
Well, you just called him stinky because he was sitting in that chair earlier. He went to get him a cup of coffee. It better be hot.
It is kind of an earthy smell. Nah, he's an iced coffee. Well, no, he's not. He's not
Who
iced.
drinks iced coffee? But anyway, that's for a different podcast. But yeah, let's
Your
see what
co-host is going to go hide now.
Yeah, he needs to go hide. Get him some iced coffee. But as Talon sits down here, Talon, where's the baby? Did you forget him again? Or
No,
forget her again?
the baby is still with Svetlana, or whatever that woman's name is. I'm not
I
good with
see.
names. I'm a
We
ranger.
don't
I'm not
even
good
know.
with names. I've been
Names of
named
animals,
baby.
maybe?
Yeah, I have a lot of animal friends.
So with your being a ranger and getting an animal to call, right?
Yes.
What's going to be your animal to call? The baby?
No, it is a baby and not an animal. I don't know what my animal will be.
Really?
Maybe a dire wolf.
If you could choose an animal, what would it be?
A panther.
Panther?
Yes.
And not a cougar?
No.
Okay.
A panther, and I would name it.
Billy Bob.
Oh my god, I was thinking of the out of character. I was thinking of Driz Panther, and I couldn't think of the damn name of it.
I can't think of it either off the top of my head.
You know, Driz was my idol. That's why I wanted to become a ranger.
Yeah, I liked old Driz.
After my mom was killed by the orcs, I needed a path in life, and I met him, and that's where I decided that I wanted to be a ranger.
Is that where you got the baby from?
No, the baby was in that weird area that we were in. Our group, my most recent group was in.
In that like destroyed village?
Yes.
Gotcha. I think though, if I were to be a
baby's name is
ranger,
going to be Katai.
Katai and Josiah, those people. I think though, if I were to be a ranger, I'd want a monkey as my animal to call.
That would be kind of like Abu that was with the great Aladdin.
Yeah, I just like monkeys. Oh, maybe an orangutan. Nah, it had to be a monkey. That's my kind of personality.
What do you think you would name the monkey?
Spanky. Spanky the monkey.
So I know you're asking the questions here, but it's very nice to be part of a group again. It's been a while since I left the other group and went off on my own, and now I'm part of this group.
Well, tell us some of your stories.
Well, I was able to hunt down the orc tribe that murdered my mom, right in front of me, and I did get revenge on that. I was involved in the Great Calamity, which was this part of this continent where magic was never part of the world, and then it all of a sudden came into existence. There was monsters and stuff like that. We had to fight different cabals and everything, and I left that group because I kind of ran afoul of. What happened was I had a girlfriend there, and she worked in this house that was kind of like our safe haven as a group. one of our members, the druid, her family was royal in this area, and she owned this house. And I got drunk one night and was telling everybody that I had feelings for our rogue, and the other woman heard me and threatened to kill me. And then she ended up getting captured by the Cabal, and I left to save her, but sadly they did her in by the time I got there, and I just never was able to face that group again. So now I'm with this other group of nuts.
Didn't you also used to have a baby orc?
I did. He turned 14 and wanted to go off on his own. He is currently hunting the wilds of Faerun. I see him every once in a while.
Which means he's in a brothel sowing his seeds.
I told him not to do those things, but, you know, he understands common very well. He's very civilized, and I hope that he doesn't get some of the racism that I did, you know, being half elf.
So instead of a brothel, he's in a madam's house.
Hopefully not.
We'll see. But we do appreciate you stopping by and talking to us, and we'll let you sign us out then.
Thanks everybody for listening, and remember to subscribe. I'm not going to yell like your co-host does.
Yeah, he's an idiot, but you know, we keep him around.
Well, that's all you can do.
We'll see you later, Talon.
Later.
This episode is brought to you by the Knights of the Braille and is made possible through the support of viewers such as you. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to get all of the latest information and episodes. Thank you.